for me, when I talk about my experience with cancer, it was, it comes back down to this feeling of knowing something was amiss in my life, but I had ignored it, right? Because, back to the point that we were talking about before, it was something difficult, it was daunting, it was scary to face those types of questions that I was potentially going to ask myself, so I would suppress them, and then you'd ignore them, and then you'd distract yourself, or you escape through, alcohol, drugs, whatever, until it come to a point where you can no longer ignore it, right? And that was cancer for me. Like, I could no longer ignore it. And I feel the same way with like the state of the world right now. I've mentioned this before, like there's this parallel between what happens at a micro level, like a personal level. It is too like a reflection of what's happening collectively, at a macro level, and vice versa, right? I think that, we as a people, as a society, have been moving in a certain way for far too long, and knowing that there's certain things that we should probably address in a certain way, right? We may have lost our way a little bit in terms of like the direction that we're going as a people, as a society. And then all this crazy shit on a global scale has been happening this year, right? The bushfires and coronavirus and all the social unrest in the States and all these sorts of things. It's just coming to a head. And what does this stuff mean? Like, we're in this place where we simply cannot ignore the things that are happening in the world, right? So we have to choose. We're at this crossroads now. It's either we, grow through it, or we just perish, right? And I think that's sort of the parallel, the analogy. And I think that we face these at different degrees throughout our life, and it's a choice point every time, like between expansion and contraction, right?